Hello, this is your boy Main Event Primetime TV. Let's talk about this Giannis trade. Now, Giannis got traded by the Bucks, and it was over 10 years of him playing in Milwaukee, and now he finally got traded to Miami. Especially last year, there was a lot of trade rumors and him saying that he's not going to any other team, and now he went to another team via trade, and now, like I said, how I feel about it, I do think that the Heat getting Giannis is good. The Heat has had a history of getting great players like Shaq, D Wade. I think they had Penny Hardaway too, and who else? Not Penny Hardaway. Tim or Penny Hardaway are both. LeBron, Bosh, Butler recently. Like I said, a lot of great players. They also got Bam too. They also had Tyler Hero. And like I said, he has really built a great culture of winning, especially for teams that's non-Lakers and Celtics and Spurs and Bulls maybe. The Heat is one of those upper echelon teams, especially due to them being in Miami and having a really good executive in Pat Riley. So yeah, let's move on to this video.
I said it to Amanda at the top of the show. Feels good to not be the fan base waking up to a blockbuster trade text in the middle of the night. That feeling now belongs to Milwaukee because the Giannis chapter is officially in the book. The team engaging in a blockbuster trade to send the Greek Freak to South Beach in exchange for basically the entire roster in MIA, a handful of picks along the way too. Giannis sharing on social media hours before that it was in God's hands. Well, officially now in Miami's hands. Welcome.
No.
Mr. Miami Heat stopping by CBS Sports HQ. No one has seen more Miami Heat basketball than Ira Winderman with the Sun Sentinel. Ira, so good to see you. You've been covering this team since its first season, so you've seen a lot. Take us behind the scenes here. Giannis finally coming to South Beach. It feels like this is a moment years in the making.
Yeah, I mean, and years in the making is the perfect phrasing, because for years you would get Shaquille O'Neal, you would get LeBron James, you would get Chris Bosh, you would get Jimmy Butler, and then it stopped. And then you were getting Kyle Lowry, you were getting Terry Rozier, and not as much. This is Pat Riley. If Pat Riley's going to go out on a win, this counts as that kind of win for Pat Riley and for the Miami Heat. Because anytime you land a top...
Like I said, Pat Riley really got a great, not survey, but great resume as a coach and a GM, winning championships with the Lakers, sending the Knicks to the finals, and building a really great culture with the Knicks by as a head coach and as executive is really, really great from Pat Riley. Like, he's one of the greats like Popovich and Phil Jackson. Like, the greatest head coach and also the greatest executive. And that's like one of the flaws, especially with Phil Jackson when he was executive for Lakers, or not Lakers, for Knicks. He was really bad. And Greg Popovich, I mean, he's doing well as a executive head coach. I think he started off as an executive and then became a head coach. Like, I just looked that up like last month or whatever. Not last month, a couple months ago, about Greg Popovich started as an executive and then became a head coach.
5 NBA player with a healthy Giannis Antetokounmpo, certainly it is. You take it, you make the deal. This reminds me so much of 2004 when Shaquille O'Neal became available and people said, wait a minute, you're going to trade Caron Butler, you're going to trade Brian Grant, you're going to trade Lamar Odom, you're going to trade a first-round pick? Well, heck yeah, you're going to do it. And as you can see there in the graphic, you can make an argument, hey, that's most of the Miami Heat.
Hey, they traded the whole damn team for this man.
Probably could throw Heat mascot Bernie in there because they were willing to send anyone and anything out to get this done.
That's why, like I said, I don't think, like I said, I do think the Heat will probably win a first or second round matchup, but I don't think they're gonna make it that far in the playoffs because, like I said, they lost half their team trading for Giannis, and like I said, they do got Bobby Portis also as can be a good role player, but like it's just gonna be him. Like him and like maybe a couple other players, and it's just like, oh man, like especially against the Knicks and the Sixers and the Raptors and the Pistons and Magic. Like it's gonna be really tough, and the Cavs too. Like I said, the Eastern Conference is gonna be a bloodbath.
Inspiration, but I'd rather be desperate for talent like Giannis than just trying to find a way to survive. So I'm a little bit surprised at some of the outside criticism and thoughts on this. When you obtain greatness in a sport where only 5 players play at a time, you automatically put yourself ahead of the game.
It's certainly going to be interesting. Real quick, because as I mentioned, you've covered this team for so long. Where does this trade rank for you in terms of star power? Because you've seen Shaq, you've seen LeBron, you've seen every move.
Yeah, again, and it's sort of easier for me to answer because LeBron and Chris were free agency, basically. They did some sign and trade elements there. But for Heat trades, it's right there with Shaquille O'Neal. And Shaquille was just as much of a star, even at a very similar age when he arrived there. So I think when you look at the trade and you look at the players brought in,
Here's the thing about the Shaq years with the Heat. The Heat also had a bench too. They also had D Wade. Like the Heat had players around that time. And you can win with a big, especially as lead too. But in this modern NBA, it's going to be a challenge for Giannis and Bam, especially them being non-shooters and non-dynamic players. I mean, they are dynamic players, but like explosive players like Brunson and like Maxey or whatever, or um, Cunningham. That's going to be a challenge in the NBA because, like I said, like they're going to play teams like that, like Cunningham, like Maxey, like Brunson, and like they don't have the guard or whatever to match up against them. Like now they do have Andrew Wiggins to defend against them, but like, eh.
in, this is what the Heat do. And what the Heat also do is they reset and they say, okay, we're a Shaquille O'Neal team. We're a Big Three team. We're a Giannis team. And they build around that. With Shaquille O'Neal, his second year in, all of a sudden they made the deal, brought in Antoine Walker, James Posey, Jason Williams, Gary Payton. Boom. Championship his second year with LeBron. Remember that series against Dallas when LeBron couldn't guard, for God's sakes, JJ Barea? So what do? Shane Battier, Ray Allen, Chris Birdman Anderson, they add the pieces. As much as you might say Pat Riley's the godfather for being able to do these big deals no one can refuse, the Heat are so good also at sitting back and saying, now, how do we supplement this? How do we sort of get our guys to make more of this acquisition? The Heat will do it because they've proven they can do it.
It'll be interesting.
Man, he can definitely do it, man. They can definitely get some great players.
Keep mentioning Pat Riley, so I want to go
I
there
remember cheering for them when they had LeBron in the Big Three. I know I sound but I was young, so I mean, of course, I'm going to cheer for him. Like it's pretty much similar to how people cheer for like Jordan in the '90s. You don't have to be a complete Bulls fan, but like, oh, you can appreciate LeBron James. This was before I found things about LeBron and mm, like, mm.
Does this to you feel like this is it? This is my last big move. I'm throwing.
I do still like appreciate LeBron's greatness, but he do have a lot of problems too on or off the court.
The kitchen sink, the pots and pans, everything at this final deal here for Giannis?
You know what? I think success in the NBA, even in the front office, is such a drug. I almost wonder if it's the opposite. I almost wonder if Pat Riley got that feeling again last night that, wow, I can still do this. Doubt me at your own, chancing. But when you look at
Man,
what
this
Pat
man
Riley
gave the Heat 3 titles, man. That's crazy.
did with this
As
deal,
his tenure as a Miami Heat member.
I think Pat feels more empowered now than he has in
Most
years.
of those, I mean, every single one of them are Hall of Famers, including Jimmy Butler. Like, especially with his compliments and things he did. Like, he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Like, these are all Hall of Fame players. Kudos to Pat Riley.
The moves he's made, and again, even beyond some of these, whether it's a Goran Dragic acquisition, whether it's some of the interim moves and the great draft success they've had, keep in mind, the Heat, you can make an argument, traded 7 first-round picks to the Bucks. When you consider in the last decade, Tyler Hero, Hakes Yakachonis, that Khalil Ware also were first-round picks. So for as much as people doubt the Heat way, and as much as people are sick of Heat culture and Heat Nation, and maybe a level of arrogance, their way again gave dividends, and I don't see how that necessarily changes in the short term. I think Pat Riley is relishing this, not as much as maybe a championship moment, but he sees the pathway to a championship. He ain't stepping aside now. We'll have to wait for that champagne-soaked celebration he's seeking, because he's still going.
Producer Tito has already written Duncan Robinson back in the starting five because he seems to believe that there are some more moves to be made by Pat Riley and the Heat this season. So we'll have to wait and see. But Ira, we know that you will see all and share it with us when you can. Appreciate seeing you again. Thanks so much for your time breaking down this blockbuster trade.
Like I said, I don't think this starting lineup will be enough to beat the Knicks, the Sixers, and like the Raptors. I do think they can kind of maybe beat the Raptors. But, like I said, like I said, we'll see. But like I said, I do think at best this will be a first, second round team at best. Like, and I'm not trying to be like mean and evil. It's just like I said, they need something else. Like they need more role players. Like they need like more of a bench presence and like a good glue guy. But I don't know.
Five down in Miami. The starting five this year looking a lot different. Bam and Giannis leaking up there as the big men on this team. Andrew Wiggins as well as your shooting forward, and then some young talent there with Pelle Larson and Davion Mitchell.
But yeah, I don't think the Heat is gonna make it that far. But like, I do think they're gonna be a good team this upcoming NBA season. But yeah, this is your boy Main Event Prime Time. I'm out. Peace.